What is up, friends? Good morning, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I am your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural, nutritional roads to your vitality, to your health, to your well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 27 years of practicing pharmacy, I've seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and acne and rosacea, psoriasis, fibromyalgia, migraine headaches, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure, because the human biological system is a healing system, a renewing system, a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that a miracle, this healing, regenerating, renewing system is really just the way the body works. It's business as usual for the human body. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to get off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we are here for you on The Bright Side. We welcome your calls at 855-660-4261. That's 855-660-4261. If you have questions about the longevity products that you hear us recommend or advertise on the program, or if you have a success story, or if you just want to contribute to the conversation, 855-660-4261 is your number. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products that you hear us talk about on The Bright Side, you can head over to brightsideben.com and take a look at our shopping cart. And, of course, if you want to join the Bright Side Ben team and make some money selling longevity products, start a longevity business for a one-time $10 fee. You can have all the tax benefits associated with owning your own business. You can find out all about it by clicking on the Join the Team link on brightsideben.com on the upper left-hand corner of the page at brightsideben.com. And, of course, you can always call the Bright Side Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. All right. Thank you so much for joining us on the Bright Side once again. We've been spending the last couple of weeks talking about vitamin anabolic, vitamin A, the alpha vitamin, the alpha male vitamin, the alpha female vitamin, if you like. Some of the incredible benefits that you get from vitamin A include better protein metabolism, bodybuilding, wound healing, and, of course, tremendous, tremendous skin benefits. You can get, yesterday we talked about getting skin benefits from retinol and retinoic acid. Retinoic acid is the active form of vitamin A. Many people know retinoic acid by its brand name topical product, Retin-A, or perhaps by its brand name designation, tretinoin. Tretinoin, retinoic acid, or the cream Retin-A is so powerful it requires a prescription. It has many, many features and benefits, including improving wound healing, preventing post-surgical scarring, improving photo damage, improving dark spots, smoothing the skin, softening the skin. Of course, its most well-known property is improving the appearance of acne-prone skin. We spent a lot of time a couple of years ago, maybe about a year and a half ago, talking about the 7 types of acne. We should probably do a review on the 7 types of acne sometime soon. But for now, I just want to talk about retinoic acid and how retinoic acid works to address the basic kind of skin lesion, the basic kind of skin defect or imperfection that we generically refer to as a cyst or a pimple, or more technically as a comedone. All the retinoids are part of a retinoid family, a vitamin A family, and they all play a key role in keeping the skin blemish-free, pimple-free. In fact, the vitamin A family is so powerful and so therapeutic that drug companies spend millions of dollars in research and development trying to come up with synthetic versions of this natural vitamin, patentable versions of retinoids, of vitamin A, of substances in the vitamin A family. There's a topical product some people have heard of called adapalene. Another one is called differin. These are all fake vitamin A or synthetic vitamin A products. And, of course, most people have heard of Accutane. Accutane is notable because of something called Accutane toxicity. Accutane is a classic example of a pharmaceutical version of a retinoid. As it turns out, there is actually small amounts of Accutane in everybody's body because Accutane, or as it's chemically known as, isotretinoin, is actually a derivative of vitamin A, and everybody pretty much is going to have very tiny amounts of isotretinoin or Accutane in their blood, whether they're taking Accutane or not. It's when you take large amounts of this stuff in a pharmaceutical version that you're really going to run into problems. Iso, by the way, means kind of, sort of like. Tretinoin is the brand name for vitamin A, hence the term isotretinoin, which means kind of, sort of like retinoic acid. Accutane is a kind of, sort of like vitamin A. And Accutane has some really, really horrible, distressing side effects. For one thing, it's going to dry you out faster than a fossil in the Sahara Desert. And it can create a lot of misery. That dryness is really uncomfortable. You'll have a dryness of your tears. You'll have a dryness of your skin lipids and skin oils. Basically, vitamin A, real vitamin A that is, stimulates the machinery, the cell machinery that's involved in the secretion of different fluids in the body. Secretion of digestive juices, secretions of tears, secretions of skin lipids. And then when you take Accutane, this breakdown version of vitamin A, when you take it like a drug, this derivative or metabolite of vitamin A works like a monkey wrench to block all of the secretions coming out of cells. That means incredible dryness. Vitamin A, folks, as you probably know if you've been listening for the last couple of weeks, vitamin A is serious, serious stuff. It is arguably the most important and fundamental of all the vitamins. It's involved in lots of very important biochemical processes, especially when it comes to cell growth. And the body doesn't like anything monkeying around with cell growth. And by the way, the fact that vitamin A is so important for cell growth is why Accutane, or the derivative of vitamin A, is actually used as a poison for cells. In fact, Accutane exerts its anti-acne effects because of its poisonous nature. It kills cells. It kills the cells that make secretions. It kills the cells that make sebum. And by the way, Accutane is used as chemotherapy for that same reason. It's used to kill cancer cells. It's used to kill tumor cells. Long story short, playing around with retinoids, playing around with vitamin A. The vitamin A family is playing with fire. And as a pharmacist and as a chemist, I can tell you I am not at all surprised that Accutane would be associated with side effects from birth defects to irritable bowel syndrome to miserably dry skin to depression and suicide and other brain-type effects. Anyway, for now I want to get into the importance of real vitamin A for treating acne, and at the same time, the significance of vitamin A deficiency as a cause of the formation of zits and pimples. So you can use vitamin A for treating acne, and for many years before Accutane and before prescription drugs were really big, dermatologists and doctors would use high doses of vitamin A to treat acne. In addition, it's vitamin A deficiency that could very well be behind much of the causes, behind much of the appearances of pimples and blemishes and the other things that are associated with acne. Before we do that, though, I think we should talk about what exactly a zit is, what exactly a pimple is. Pretty much everyone has gotten a pimple at one time or another in their life. Some folks never stop getting them. By the way, it's kind of interesting because broken out skin is pretty much a Western phenomenon. Even though most of your friends, most of my friends, most people I know have broken out at one time or another, in some cultures that are not exposed to the same kind of food that we eat here in the western part of the world, that are not exposed to drinking poisonous water, some cultures that are not exposed to breathing the poisonous air, they don't get breakouts. So breaking out with acne is not necessarily something that's just part of the human dynamic. Breaking out with acne and breaking out with zits is a lifestyle issue, which is good news, once again, because it means by changing our lifestyle, by changing the kind of nutrients we get into our body, by changing the kind of foods we eat, we can actually change the way our skin appears. And that means no breakouts, no zits, no blemishes, no acne. And I'll tell you what I mean when we come back from our break. I am Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We will be back right after this. Don't go away.
Farmers keep livestock lean and healthy with a mineral-rich diet. Then, before market, they cut off minerals, leading them to crave high-calorie grains. If weight control is this easy, why prescribe surgery for humans? Introducing Youngevity. You could avoid 900 diseases by getting 90 essential nutrients from Youngevity. Check out 90 for Life at tobeyoungagain.com or call 855-79-YOUNG. That's 855-79-YOUNG or tobeyoungagain.com. Youngevity. It's all about saving money, getting healthy, and creating wealth.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237. Quantitative easing, unemployment at depression levels, Europe financial system falling apart, China getting out of U.S. treasuries. At the end of 2008, the time of TARP, the national debt was at $11 trillion, gold trading around $850 per ounce. Close to 2012, the national debt exceeded $16.4 trillion, gold doubled to $1,600 per ounce. The $20 trillion threshold for the national debt is inevitable. Politicians in Washington have a ferocious appetite for spending and stimulus. What's worse, a printing press to finance. 100 years ago, we had a gold standard to limit this madness, but now you have to adopt your own gold standard. Don't be fooled with paper promises. Get Midas Resources 10 Reasons to Buy Gold free by calling 800-686-2237. Understanding the gold and silver market may be the only insurance you could have to avoiding the next economic crisis. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order your free copy. Again, that's 800-686-2237.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Wouldn't it be nice to have one product that replaces more than 10, saving you space, time, and money? HempUSA.org has a complete full-spectrum vitamin mineral detox formulation called Micro Plant Powder Gold. Micro Plant Powder Gold contains 101 vitamins, minerals, probiotics, and iodine. Has a 100-year shelf life and is a perfect addition to any storage shelter. Make Micro Plant Powder Gold your choice. Call 888-910-4367 or visit HempUSA.org today.
HempUSA.org has a revolutionary wonder food for detoxing the body and rebuilding the immune system. Microplant powder can help unclog arteries and soften heart valves while removing heavy metals, virus, fungus, bacteria, and parasites. Plus, it cleans and purifies the blood, lungs, stomach, and colon. Keep your body clean with Microplant powder. Order today at 888-910-4367 or visit HempUSA.org.
Are you tired of searching for great talk radio?
Something more important.
Search no more. We are the GCN Radio Network.
Welcome back to The Bright Side. I am Pharmacist Ben. We're here Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7 on our archive page at brightsideben.com. We also have a blog, pharmacistben.com, that we update regularly. And, of course, if you want to purchase any of the longevity products that you hear us talk about on The Bright Side, you can head over to brightsideben.com and take a look at our shopping cart, or you can call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. If you have an Android phone, please download the Brightside app. Thank you to Ted Anderson at the Genesis Communication Network. All right, we're talking about vitamin A in the skin. Gabriel writes, hey, Ben, do you think that people who get plenty of sun and drink lots of carrot juice still should eat animal livers for the vitamin A. I don't like the taste of liver, Gabriel says. I don't blame you, Gabriel. I hate the taste of liver. Not that I eat liver anyway. I went through a little phase, I remember, a few years ago where I was eating organic chicken liver every day. And man, did I hate the taste of that stuff. But liver is absolutely loaded with nutrients, especially loaded with vitamin A. Most of the vitamin A in your body is actually stored in the liver. Most of the vitamin A in any animal's body is stored in the liver. So eating liver is indeed a great source of vitamin A. As we said before, you're not going to get vitamin A from plants. Now, that's a kind of a myth. Vegetarians think, well, I'm going to get beta-carotene and that's vitamin A. No, it's not. Beta-carotene is not vitamin A. Beta-carotene is said to be pro-vitamin A. It has to be metabolized. It has to be broken down by chemistry in the body, by enzymes in the body to turn it into vitamin A, and many people can't do that efficiently or effectively. It can be done to a certain extent, but in my humble opinion, if you are interested in getting vitamin A and having vitamin A effects in the body, it's not beta-carotene that you want, it's vitamin A. Now, the best food sources are going to be organ meats, and liver is a great source of vitamin A. If you don't want to do organ meats, dairy and eggs are also good sources of vitamin A. If you don't want to do dairy or eggs or organ meats, then your best bet is going to be to supplement with vitamin A. Cod liver oil's got some vitamin A in it, and 20,000 international units of vitamin A in a capsule is not a bad idea. The stuff sure is cheap enough. Be careful about taking too much vitamin A by itself. You always want to balance out your nutrients, especially hormone-like substances like vitamin A. Vitamin A and D go together. In nature, they're found together. In foods, they're found together. Vitamin A containing foods, or vitamin A foods, contain their vitamin A in what I call the cholesterol complex. And the cholesterol complex is the parts of foods, of animal products that contains cholesterol and lecithin and phospholipids and vitamin A and vitamin D. These are the complexes that are found in foods that are responsible for building tissue. And these, of course, are the complexes that doctors will tell you not to eat. These are the kinds of foods that doctors will tell you not to eat, thereby depriving you of these very, very important building materials, building substances. If you're interested in getting these substances, your best bet is to make sure you are eating, yes indeed, you are eating cholesterol-containing foods. You are eating eggs. You are eating organ meats. You are eating dairy. These are all cholesterol-containing complex. These are all foods that contain the cholesterol complex for building. All right, when it comes to the skin, nothing exhibits skin properties more than vitamin A. Vitamin A is the quintessential skin vitamin. That's because skin cells are growing really fast, and vitamin A is a growth vitamin. If you have acne, chances are pretty darn good. Not only are you deficient in vitamin A, but you could very well be having a digestive problem that's keeping you from absorbing vitamin A. Pimples are not supposed to happen. Blemishes are not supposed to happen. Acne is not supposed to happen. Yet 80% of Americans are going to be breaking out at one time or another in their lives. That is just testimony to our lousy health strategies. Indigenous cultures don't get acne. Indigenous cultures don't get blemishes. So what the heck is going on when we get a pimple? Everybody gets pimples, but what is a pimple? I guarantee you, if you go around and ask people what exactly from a biochemical or cellular level is a zit, most people aren't going to be able to tell you what it is. So let's talk about, just for a minute or two, what exactly a pimple is and why vitamin A is so important. Actually, when we talk about what a pimple is, it'll make sense why vitamin A is so important. So you got the skin. The skin's made up of layers, 3 main layers, and lots of thinner layers within the layers. Yesterday we said it's kind of like baklava. It's got different kind of layers, and each layer has its own special kind of flavor or special kind of characteristics. The top layer is called the epidermis. The bottom layer is called the dermis. And it's this top layer, the epidermis. I like to think of M&Ms and the coating on M&Ms. The epidermis is the coating, the candy coating. The dermis is the chocolate. It's the coating, the epidermis, that is the formation, that is responsible for the formation of your typical zit, your typical acne comedone. That's spelled C-O-M-E-D-O-N-E, or your typical acne pimple. The epidermis is itself made up of multiple layers, with the top layer, the very surface, being made up of cells that started their lives in the bottom layers and gradually rise upwards to the top. This movement from the bottom to the top is called transit time, or turnover time, and it's about 4 to 8 weeks. It gets longer as we get older. This is why exfoliation is so important for keeping your skin more youthful looking. when you exfoliate your skin, and we're going to spend some time next week talking about exfoliation, when you exfoliate your skin, you speed up turnover time, speed up transit time, and by the way, this is a great strategy for detoxification. One of the ways the body detoxifies itself is by putting crap, biochemical crap that is, in the cells that are going to be desquamated or detoxified, and so, or by exfoliated, I should say. And as this exfoliation or desquamation, cells start to flop off of the skin, so do poisons and so do toxins. So exfoliation is a great way to speed up turnover time, this transit time, make your skin more like you were when you were younger. And it's also a great way to detoxify. So as cells are moving up moving upwards towards the top, getting ready to flop off of the skin, they're actually taking on different shapes. Each layer of this epidermis, each baklava-like layer, contains cells of a different shape and different function. In fact, this movement upwards is called differentiation, to indicate that each one of these cell layers contains a different type of cell, a cell with a different shape, a cell with different biochemistry. And this differentiation process is really, really important when it comes to not just understanding the skin, but when it comes to understanding cancer as well. Both acne and cancer have something in common. In fact, both psoriasis and acne and cancer have something in common. Any kind of differentiation defect can lead to healthcare problems, health issues, health challenges, and cancer, psoriasis, and acne are all differentiation kinds of issues. This differentiation process where cells take on a different shape from a biochemical perspective is incredibly complicated, and there's lots of biochemical steps that have to take place in this super coordinated fashion. When this differentiation process gets messed up, cells don't secrete the same kind of chemicals, cells don't move the same kind of way, transit time can occur too fast or too slow. You can get patches of bare skin, and that's called eczema. Eczema is a classic sign of this differentiation process gone awry. The same is true about the opposite of eczema, which is called psoriasis. That's when cells are growing too fast. These are both differentiation issues. And acne as well is a differentiation health issue. It's caused by cells that are somehow getting confused as they're taking on these different shapes as they're moving from the bottom to the top. All right, so much more to talk about. We're going to be talking to Richard Renton here in a little bit about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0. We'll take your phone calls in our next segment. 855-660-4261 is the number. We'll be back after this.
People are taking charge of their lives with healthier lifestyles. That's why you have to experience the Raleigh-Durham Gluten and Allergen-Free Wellness Event. One day only, Saturday, August 17th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Durham Convention Center in Durham, North Carolina. Explore the Gluten and Allergen-Free Wellness Event, where learning is fun and delicious. Discover the world of gluten-free with free samples, cooking demonstrations, and lectures with well-known members of the gluten-free community. Enter the raffle, and you can win the grand prize of a catered barbecue from Bone Suckin' Sauce, valued at $3,000. The Raleigh-Durham Gluten and Allergen-Free Wellness Event, August 17th at the Durham Convention Center. For more, visit RALEIGHGlutenfreeexpo.blogspot.com. RaleighGlutenFreeExpo.blogspot.com. Presented by Udi's Gluten Free, Glutino, Enjoy Life Foods, and Youngevity.
Do you know what is the number one item to stockpile? Here's why I ask. We're in the middle of a global food crisis because of extreme drought, deadly disasters, and stupid decisions by those boneheads in the government. I found 4 warning signs that show that a major food crisis is on our doorstep, and we're just one more trigger away from a devastating disaster. And when that happens, or God forbid you have to deal with another natural disaster, do you really want to rely on FEMA to feed you and your family? That's why Smart Patriots have secured their own stockpile of survival food. Log on to stockpile1.com to see a little-known secret that instantly saves you and your family from natural disasters and the coming food crisis. Go watch my video at StockpileOne.com. Again, that's StockpileOne.com.
Are you still a traditional smoker? Now experience a new lifestyle and try vaping with e-cigarettes by LeSig. Imagine no ashes, stains, nasty smell, or coughing and hacking. With LeSig e-cigarettes' revolutionary microelectronic technology, rechargeable battery, and unique replaceable cartridge, you'll get all the benefits and satisfaction of smoking without the hazards. Choose your taste from a wide variety of our new American-made vape-free and e-liquids at LeSig.com. And LeSig smokes the competition by serving thousands of worldwide customers with real people customer service, fast, free, same-day shipping, and a 30-day warranty and satisfaction guarantee. So are you ready for a new vaping lifestyle? Then call 870-518-4307. That's 870-518-4307. Or visit LeSig.com, spelled LECIG.com. LeSig e-cigarettes for today's modern smoker.
There is a false sense of security that the greatest economic crash since the Great Depression is over. But unemployment is still at a 20-year high, and until Americans are working again, the economy has not recovered. What is the smartest investment you can make? It's food. Having a supply of eFoods Direct 25-year shelf life food is your best investment for the troubled times today and the future. For 32 years, the folks at eFoods Direct have helped thousands take the trouble out of troubled times. So to celebrate our 32-year anniversary, get the best insurance possible with a special one-time offer. A 2-month food supply for only $320 and free shipping. That's 352 servings of our newest and most popular award-winning recipes at less than $1 per serving. The 25-year shelf life allows you to lock your food cost against inflation. Call 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex. The 2-month supply is only available for a limited time. Call 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey Guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey Guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
The GCN Radio Network, providing the world with hard-hitting talk radio. GCN. Great talk radio starts here.
Welcome back to the Bright Side, 855-660-4261. Next segment, we're going to talk to Richard Renton about Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0. So if you have questions about the new longevity product, I know a bunch of you guys have been asking about some of the features and benefits of the new product. Tune in to our next segment, our fourth segment. We'll be talking to Richard Renton, the formulator of all the longevity products, and he'll have a thing or two to say about the new BTT. On our next Brightside program, we'll continue talking about zits and pimples and how these things form and how vitamin A works to help prevent the formation of pimples. Pimples and zits and comedones, as they're more technically known as, are examples of differentiation health issues. Cells take on different shapes as they live their lives, and this process of cells taking on different shapes is tightly regulated and tightly controlled. There are many health issues that are associated with problems with this differentiation process, and that includes cancer, which is a classic differentiation disease, and it includes acne, which is another type of differentiation health issue. So it should come as no surprise that vitamin A, which is the primary, most important differentiation controlling vitamin, would have applications both as chemotherapy and as an acne nutritional support for acne, and drugs that are used to help stabilize differentiation can also have chemotherapeutic value as well. Accutane is used both to treat acne and as a chemotherapy anti-cancer agent, largely because it helps control and has an effect on this differentiation process. We'll continue this discussion on our next Bright Side episode. Right now it's time to hit the phones, 855-660-4261. Bar in Ohio. Welcome to the Bright Side. What's going on?
I had
Sorry about that.
Pulmonary embolism in February, and I'm on Coumadin, and I would like to get off of it. I do have a blood clotting factor.
Okay, you got a blood clotting issue. Blood clots when your body's freaked out, okay? Blood clotting is a sign of a body in distress, of a circulatory system in distress. This is so important, people. When the body's in survival mode, when it perceives a threat, and the threat can be from the IRS or your messed up family or something you're eating or a poison that's getting into your body, there's so many ways that the body can perceive threats. It has a generic way of responding, and many of the things that we consider to be disease states, whether it's blood clotting or whether it's problems with cells growing, differentiation health issues, or immune problems, are manifestations of a body that thinks it's about to die. So when your body thinks it's about to die, one of the things it will do is it will clot the blood. Why? Well, death to the body basically means being eaten by a saber-toothed tiger, because for eons that was the most important form of death, was being eaten by wild animals or having some kind of trauma where you fell off of a cliff. And so the blood would clot as a way to keep you from hemorrhaging. Blood clotting is a sign that the body thinks it's about to die. Does that make sense so far, Barbara?
Yes, it does.
Okay, I want everybody out there to listen, because blood clotting drugs are among the best-selling drugs of all. And they're among maybe the most toxic, deadly, awful drugs of all. Blood clotting is tightly regulated by the body, and you mess around with it at your own peril. Now, obviously, if your blood is, blood thinning and blood clotting, you mess around with that whole process at your own peril. And now, obviously, if you have embolism issues, which is basically a blood clot in your lungs, that's not good. So you got to figure out, you can't just say I'm not going to take my warfarin or my Coumadin, because you could end up killing yourself with a blood clot, with an embolism. So what do? Well, first of all, you got to figure out what is going on in your body that's freaking it the hell out. I hope I can say that on the air. Do you understand what I'm saying, Barbara? Nobody just gets blood clots and embolisms. They don't just fly in out of the sky. It's the manifestation of a body in distress. So if you're really serious about getting off your Coumadin, what you want to do is you want to figure out, why is your body in distress? It's like having a baby. I know I've said this so many times before, but this is a perfect metaphor. If you have a baby and your baby's crying and your baby's screaming and your baby's in distress, you can go get a poison and shut your baby up. You can go get some chloral hydrate and put it under your baby's nose, and then you won't have to hear your baby cry anymore, right? Or go get some duct tape, wrap it around your baby's mouth. No worries. I don't have a crying baby anymore because he's got duct tape wrapped around his mouth. Oh, I don't have any problems with any embolisms. I don't have any problems with any blood clotting. My blood's fine because I take a poison to shut it up. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to be picking on you there, Barbara, but does that make sense to you?
Yes.
You follow what I'm saying? So you can't say I just want to get off my Coumadin, because your blood's going to clot and you're going to end up with an embolism, and that isn't any good either. So what you got to do is you got to figure out what's going on in your system that's causing this kind of distress. How old are you, ma'am, roughly? Just
75.
How old?
75.
75, okay. So you've had many years of not taking care of your body. And I don't mean this to pick on you. I'm just trying to, we got to call a spade here. First and foremost, the number one reason why the body gets in distress, why the blood gets in distress, is because of foods that we are eating. So what you want to do first is you want to link your digestive symptomology to specific foods and then eliminate those foods. And that means diarrhea, constipation, loose stools, bowel movement problems of any kind, gas, bloating, heartburn, the likely suspects. Link them up to foods, eliminate those foods. Secondly, get yourself on the probiotics, good bacteria, the nightly essence, 80 billion units a day, fermented foods, help soothe the digestive system. Use the Z-radical, aloe, noni, anything that soothes and coats the digestive system. Bone soup is a great way to soothe and coat the digestive system. The next thing you want to do is start to take in nutrients that support the circulatory system and support the blood. Vitamin E, vitamin C, the B complex, and magnesium are stupendously important for supporting circulatory health, blood vessel health. Niacin, especially vitamin B3, can be very helpful. Now, you're going to want to work with your doctor on all this because it's going to change your dose on your Coumadin, either up or down. They're going to have to start playing with your dose of Coumadin as you start adding these nutritional supplements into your diet. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure you're practicing deep breathing techniques. Nothing will cause the blood to clot faster than anoxia or low blood oxygen. Simply by getting enough oxygen, you can improve how the blood flows. You can improve the way the blood moves through your body. Does that make sense, ma'am? Sit down on a couch and practice deep breathing techniques. So you got magnesium, you got the B complex, you got vitamin C, you got vitamin E, you got coenzyme Q10, you got correcting digestive issues, you got the probiotics, you got the Z radical. You see, all these are all wonderful strategies for helping keeping your blood flowing the way it should be flowing. The most important thing to recognize is that blood clots as a manifestation of an emergency response. It's a sign of the body in distress. You don't want to be focusing so much on the clot, and you don't want to be focusing so much on the blood as much as you want to focus on a body that is freaked out, that is scared, that thinks it's about to die, that is perceiving life as a survival threat. Your day-to-day life is a survival threat. In other words, what you're doing to your body on a day-to-day basis is causing your body to think its survival is at stake, and that's what the blood clotting, the manifestation of blood clotting is. Blood clotting is a sign of a body in distress. Calm the body down with oxygenation, with good nutrition, with eliminating anything that's getting into the system that's causing toxicity or causing distress, and your blood should make a huge difference on how your blood moves through the body, and you should be able to get off your Coumadin. But be cautious. Do not just stop taking Coumadin if you have a history of pulmonary embolism as bad as the Coumadin is. All right, that's all the time we have for calls. You got to get on board early. Try to get to us next Monday on our next Bright Side episode. We're going to be talking to Richard Renton about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine in our next segment. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. And we'll be back after this.
Over a year ago, I began to do a lot of research into why, even though I had a pretty good-sized meal, that I was still starving. And my research led me to a well-known fact that most of the soils that we grow our crops on here in the United States and across the industrialized world are almost completely depleted of almost all of the key minerals and trace elements that our bodies need to rebuild themselves, fight off cancer, and be healthy. I then searched out the best vitamin and mineral company out there and discovered Youngevity. The Youngevity products are designed to give you the real nutrition you need, and once you've got that, you don't have to eat as much to be satisfied. I've lost 37 pounds in 2 months, simply getting the vitamins and minerals I need. Check it out for yourself. It's incredible. Go to InfoWarsTeam.com today and order your first canister of Beyond Tangy Tangerine Complete Multivitamin Mineral Complex Dietary Supplement. That's InfoWarsTeam.com.
Ceramic body armor is rated to stop 6 hits. But what about the 7th? Unlike ceramic or Kevlar, Infidel body armor is proven to take hit after hit, and it just won't quit. Reasonably priced and designed for the smart civilian prepper, Infidel stops hundreds of hits from small arms to high-powered rifles. That means safety and peace of mind. Buy yours at InfidelBodyArmor.com. Spelled INFIDEL BodyArmor.com. Infidel Body Armor just won't quit.
There may be a hidden danger lurking in our homes, and without the right equipment, you'll never know it's there. Maser instruments detect all forms of nuclear radiation, including alpha, beta, gamma, and X-ray, and are always on, just like your smoke alarm, detecting, measuring, and monitoring nuclear radiation. Made in America, laboratory grade, and EMP resistant. If you can't reliably measure nuclear radiation, you're not fully prepared. But now you can be at MaserInstruments.com, spelled M-A-Z-U-R, instruments.com.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. For details, call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, listen carefully. Sweeping changes to IRS policies will help more people than ever eliminate their tax debts once and for all. And now, thanks to Dan Pilla, you can get the tax help you need to end your tax nightmare.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I've helped thousands of people reduce or eliminate tax debts they couldn't pay. And after more than 30 years of experience dealing with the IRS, I can tell you there's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. With the IRS's new policies, it's easier than ever to put your tax debt behind you once and for all. Call now at 800-346-6829 to learn how I can help you. You know your IRS debt will not go away by itself, but you don't have to live in fear anymore. Call 800-346-6829. Learn how I can help you eliminate wage and bank levies, release tax liens, and negotiate a settlement with the IRS that will put your tax nightmare behind you forever. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, taxhelponline.com. That's taxhelponline.com.
America's #1 source for independent talk radio for over a decade. We are the GCN Radio Network.
Back on the bright side, I'm Pharmacist Ben. I've gotten so many letters and phone calls and Facebooks and messages about the new Beyond Tangy Tangerine, and I thought to myself, who would know more about this stuff than the guy who formulates the products? And so I gave my friend Richard Renton a call. Richard Renton is the guy behind all the longevity products. He's a friend of mine. He's a brilliant chemist, brilliant formulator, and he knows all about the BTT. Welcome to the bright side, Richard. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm so glad to be on with you today.
Thank you. Pleasure to have you on, and let's cut right to the chase. Why Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0?
Well, a lot of it's just the feedback that we get from our customers. You know, the particular challenges they may have, whether they like the flavor. We actually put in 1.0 a great blend of 115 different fruits and vegetables, but we didn't take probably the best consideration that some people may have some allergy issues to some of the fruits. Not very many people have allergy issues with vegetables. And so we were looking at that scenario. We were looking at the scenario that GMO is becoming a bigger and bigger issue, which it should, and we may talk about that in a little bit. And we wanted to start coming out with products that we could certify non-GMO. And that really starts from where we get our fruits and vegetables to make sure that when we get them, that they are certified when we receive them, and then going through the process. The other thing, too, is that, and you know this as well as I do, is that one of the biggest challenges with nutritional products is we can make an absolutely great formula, but if your digestive gut is in poor shape, it's really not going to give you a big bang for the buck, so to speak. So we always thought it was beneficial if we could create a stable probiotic to put that in the product as well to help create a better environment in your duodenum and small intestines and large intestines to absorb the nutrients that we provide. So, you know, feedback from the customer, taking it to the next step, being aware of what's going on, those are all the key things, which is basically feedback from all our customers that we came out with 2.0. Now, the big thing that I always want to emphasize is on this particular area, Steve Wallach, it's not like Microsoft where Windows 8 replaced Windows 7. We are still going to keep the original BTT. It will be there. We have thousands upon thousands of customers that just love the product. We are just offering a second flavor with a little different twist in it for those people that may want to take advantage of it.
What about cost?
Because of the probiotics, because of the certification involved in GMO, typically it's about $3 more a jar. If you think about all that, it also has more vitamins in it than 1.0. It's a pretty good value when you look at that. A typical 1 billion culture probiotic inexpensive ones start at $10 a month and go up, and this is just $3 more.
Now, tell me about I noticed the sweetener, RejuvaSweet. I got a couple questions about that. Tell us about RejuvaSweet.
RejuvaSweet is a new sweetener out there. It's derived from non-GMO brown rice. And so it's a patented program out of Canada that we're bringing in and using it as a sweetener. We actually found people that didn't like stevia, for example, and of course we didn't want to use sugar or any of the artificials. But it is basically a rice-based sweetener. It is a plant fiber, oleo, and polysaccharide product.
Now, there's no citrus. You took the CitrusSweet out, or is it in addition to the CitrusSweet?
No, it's replacing.
And tell us about CitrusSweet. That's the 1.0 sweetener.
That's 1.0. It's basically derived from orange extracts and orange, and it's a combination of some naturally occurring fructose and orange extract that is put together. There again, it's just what people want. With CitrusSweet, that was one of the challenges we had with GMO, getting it certified GMO, so we looked for a different route that would make that certification process easier.
And off the top of your head, can you tell us about you said there were extra vitamins, there's some extra nutrients in the 2.0. Do you know them off the top of your head? Any of them?
No, but I have the two labels in front of me, and I can say, like in vitamin A, we went from 7,500 IUs to 10,000.
Nice.
Vitamin C, we went from 1,000 milligrams up to 1,250.
Nice.
D3, which has really been in the news a lot lately, especially for people that need help in absorbing their calcium. We went up and not being out in the sun enough, which can have its pluses and its minuses. D3 went from 750 to 1,000 IUs per 2 scoops. And it kind of goes on and on. From there, the B vitamins are still strong in all those situations, but those are probably the main ones that we could talk about. We actually have a little bit more calcium in there as well, a little bit more magnesium.
All right, now, no discussion about the BTT would be complete, and I hope I'm not bombarding you or blindsiding you with this question. Can you tell us about this whole idea about minerals and about colloidal minerals versus toxic minerals and industrial minerals? And that question seems to come up all the time, and it's all over the Internet. Can you clear this thing up for us as the formulator of the product?
Well, sure. You can go to your library and you can go look for a book called a Merck Index. It's kind of not using the word poorly, but it's kind of like the chemist's Bible out there. It shows all chemical compounds exist that we know of, and it's bigger than New York City's telephone book, I think.
Right.
But there's lots of different ingredients out there. So here we go. We have to remember that a plant absorbs everything from the ground. All its minerals it gets from the soil it's in contact with, and helps it grow. Now, one of the advantages of plant-derived minerals is during that process, when the plant secretes enzymes and whatnot and breaks down these minerals, it takes the average size cluster and just breaks it way, way, way down, where it may be 500 molecules involved. It breaks it down to 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. And so it makes it extremely easy to absorb it. Now, the humic shale deposit that we get in southern Utah that we have proprietary for human consumption, it's been tested, and most of it is bounded with sulfur. And it's not like a lot of people call me up and say there's sulfur in your product. I'm allergic to sulfur drugs. Well, just because you're allergic to the sulfur drug doesn't mean you're allergic to sulfur. In fact, you have to have sulfur. It's the rest of that compound that you have allergy effects to. But in these plant-derived minerals, they're in such a simplistic state, in an organic state, that they don't store in fatty tissues like toxic metals. In fact, Dr. Schrauser, who is on our scientific board and is a professor emeritus for University of California down in San Diego, he's actually done studies showing that if you take a consumption of 250 micrograms or so of selenium over an extended period of time, your body will actually detox from heavy metals. If you have concerns because of lead, if you have concerns because of arsenic in your system, one of the ways to overcome that, according to Dr. Schrauzer, is by taking selenium on a daily basis. And I know you and I both have listened to Dr. Schrauzer teach us many things over the years, and he's an incredible individual, and I respect the man highly. The other thing that I'll say about it is that a lot of people, when they talk about absorption of minerals, they talk about colloidal and chelated and all these terminologies, and a lot of them are just, unfortunately, sales pitch. Or people are talking about it without really knowing the definition. Colloidal means suspended in a liquid. Well, I've always taught that concrete with rocks in it is technically colloidal when it's in a liquid state because it's suspending solid material in a liquid state. Ionic means by same charge. And so is plant-derived minerals colloidal when it's in a liquid state? Yes. They are. Is it ionic? Yes, because it's all the same electrical charge. But it's really the size of the cluster that makes all the difference. And so when you look at our labels, you'll see that we have certified organic trace mineral powder, and that's our powder blend out of Utah that we put in there, and it's in both the products. And we've been putting this product in ever since conception, which I think 17 years ago, have never had an adverse event with our colloidal minerals. In fact, we haven't had an adverse event that we've had to report to the FDA. I wish the drug companies could say that.
Right.
But, I'm very, very proud of it. Is there lead in it? Yes, it's parts per billion. And, when you talk about toxicity, you always have to talk about how much is your exposure. Because I can tell you in all faith that almost every single calcium product out there has maybe 1 part per billion or 0.5 parts per billion of lead in calcium because Mother Nature just likes the two to be together, and they're there. We're one of the exceptional companies that actually tell you what's in the product.
Thank you so much, Richard Renton. We're out of time, buddy. I appreciate you coming on and clearing some of that stuff up. We'll talk to you again soon, Richard. Thank you so much, bro. That's Richard Renton. He's the guy who formulates all the longevity products, including the Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0. And that's all the time we have for today on The Bright Side. On our next episode, we will continue talking about acne and how you can use Accutane, or how you can use vitamin A instead of Accutane, how Accutane works. And we'll continue talking about vitamin A as well as for acne as well as for osteoporosis in general, building in the body, vitamin anabolic, vitamin alpha. All right. Thank you so much for your emails, folks. If you're interested in learning more about the longevity products, head over to my website, brightsideben.com.
There are those curious about Bitcoins and those using and making money with Bitcoins. What are Bitcoins? A Bitcoin is the first decentralized currency that can be easily transferred from person to person over the Internet. No bank needed. This means lower fees, and accounts can never be frozen, limited, or closed. You are in control of your money. And the best part? You can start earning and making money with Bitcoins right away. No computer or expertise is required to earn money with Bitcoins, and a growing number of merchants now accept Bitcoins. Plus, they're easily exchanged for dollars, euros, and more. Learn more about the easiest, cheapest, most profitable way to enter the Bitcoin market and get paid every 2 weeks by one of the fastest growing Bitcoin miners in the world at cloudhashing.com. Just like it sounds, cloudhashing.com. That's cloudhashing.com. We mine your business.
Time and time again.
You need to come here and help us. We need assistance, please.
Those we should be able to depend on let us down.
Federal and state and local officials saying help is on the way. Well, the folks here in Belle Harbor say, show me.
Don't depend on the government to save you. Take action now so that you're prepared for the next disaster with MyPatriotSupply.com. Get the best prices on storable food, non-GMO seeds, water filtration devices, home canning equipment, survival and self-reliance books, and more at MyPatriotSupply.com. Call 866-229-0927.
We are hurting down here, and we need help immediately.
Before it's time to survive, it's time to prepare. MyPatriotSupply.com. MyPatriotSupply.com.